Hey everyone, welcome to my latest video. This one I'm going to talk a little bit about the mid-market tech map that we've just completely refreshed and updated and published this week on the 25th of July. We pushed it live. So if you haven't seen our tech maps yet, then definitely grab yourself a copy. The link is in the comments to this video, and it's also in the newsletter if you're streaming this video from inside our weekly newsletter. The main changes from when we last published this back in November 2025 really is just the amount of consolidation that we've seen in the market since then. So for anyone that follows regularly and reads my posts and my newsletter, you will no doubt be aware that we've seen quite a lot of consolidation in the procurement technology market, especially in the second quarter of 2026. I don't think that will stop anytime soon. I think we're going to see more consolidation, but it's been especially acute in the first half, especially of this year. That's obviously reflected in the map. We've obviously taken the solutions out that have been acquired and have just put them under the parent company. If it's the first time that you've seen these tech maps, we give each solution just one primary category, even though in reality they have a lot of different modules, a lot of them, especially if they're suites. But just to make sure that the map doesn't appear to be that busy and confusing, we've given each solution just one primary category. If you download the PDF version of the tech map from our store, it's completely free to do that. Then you also get embedded links to each software solution. So you can just click on the logo and it will go to the entry in our software finder database for each solution. So as you can read the summary, you can read the key tags and modules and functionality and who, what industry sectors, what types of businesses those software companies typically serve. The other thing that we've done this time, we've removed inventory and planning as a category from the tech map, because that typically is something that's more focused on supply chain. So we've taken that away and just tried to really sort of drill down and just make it procurement relevant. And we've also consolidated the ESG category along with the risk and compliance category. I see more and more that these two categories are kind of merging, and that sustainability and ESG kind of gets coupled together with risk and compliance. If there's a lot of overlap in terms of what those different types of softwares do, so we've consolidated that all into one big category. Increasingly, source to pay, procure to pay, and intake to pay are also converging a lot as well. We've kept them separate in this tech map simply because not everyone is looking necessarily for intake. Not everyone is necessarily looking for sourcing module. Some folks just want to have a simple sort of procure to pay workflow and keep everything else in an ERP system or in an accounting system. Others want to have just like front end intake, but then manage the rest in a different system. Whereas others want to have a complete end-to-end source to pay ecosystem. So we have continued to have those three as separate categories, but by the time the next one rolls around, which will typically be in about 6 months time, so I guess probably around January time 2027, we may actually consolidate those two into one sort of mega category to reflect the increasing consolidation in this space. It's a really exciting time to be in the procurement tech space, especially if you're looking at this from a greenfield perspective and you're about to embark on your digital transformation or procurement software journey for the very first time. Maybe you're a new head of procurement in a fairly greenfield organization. If that is you, then I genuinely think it's a very exciting time to be in this space. Likewise, if you're in a more mature organization, I think now more than ever is the time to consider, if you possibly can, ripping out your legacy technology, or at least putting something more modern on top of it to serve as the intake and front end UI UX layer. to give that user experience to your stakeholders and indeed to your suppliers that just makes it a little bit stickier and less likely that they will go around the process and purchase Maverick. Remember, if you make the process easier to comply with than going Maverick, then obviously you're going to have much more compliance spend within your organization, and the technology is an integral part of that, because if you're using clunky, horrible tech, then people are people and they're just going to try and go around it. If you're giving them a complex or convoluted process, or if you're giving them poor software with a bad user experience, they're not going to use it. That is just the simple reality. So that's all for this week. I would love to get your comments and feedback and thoughts. If you have any feedback or any ideas of how we can make the TechMax better. And then, yeah, we will be back again probably in about 6 months' time with the new version. Take care and have a great week. Cheers.